Hello, everyone. My name is Choobie.
And I'm Vanessa. And
And welcome to No Filters, No Fears.
Today's hot topic is
Piercings and tats.
boom. Oh wait. I can't really measure where my camera is, so I fail. Like my boom didn't work.
But today's elephant is a 1, maybe?
Yeah, it's a 1. Unless you're severely offended by tattoos, in which case you might want to have that checked out. Forever. We posted 4 images of tattoos on our own bodies. Our own bodies. We're trying to alternate. We don't want to bombard you guys always with some harsh stuff. We've got plenty of that to talk about. Trust us. Pero, we're not gonna do the band-aid. We're gonna
yeah, we
want by littles. So, Choobie, you should cop to your 2 tattoos first. Because I feel like those are the most extensive tattoos.
Well, I don't know how I'm gonna take a video. Okay. Well, this is kind of.
So the Ganesh was yours.
So yes, the Ganesh was mine, and the Breaking Benjamin tattoo was mine.
Yeah, well, I can't even show one of them. I'm like, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a striptease on No Filters, No Fears.
Well, my shirt is already out, so okay, we're basically,
Can't even do it. Okay, hold on. We're working it out, guys. There it is.
Oh, see, it is big. I knew it was big.
It's not that big. It's tiny.
That is not a tiny tattoo. Well,
She has been with me back and forth about how big my tattoo is, and I tried to explain that it's about yay big.
That is big enough for me to notice this. If it was like how mine is, that
itty bitty. Okay, I feel you. That's itty bitty. And then I have this guy, my semicolon. Choobie, what's the story behind Ganesh?
Well, as you know,
did it hurt?
Well, as you know, he's one of the Hindu gods. So, whoever knows me, they know that I practice and, the removal of obstacles. So I decided to get, it's still not done, by the way. I still have 3 more hours, maybe 4 more hours to go.
I'm sorry, say who? How many hours have you put into that already?
This, in my first sitting, it took me 3 hours.
Ay, que tener ganas.
And the tattoo artist is named Dan. He's over there up in Boynton Beach. Anybody wants his name? He's an amazing artist. Did it hurt? I don't know, because if it didn't hurt to me, it might hurt to you. But
that's true. I fell asleep during my first tattoo.
But it was a very beautiful experience, and we worked together on it. Obviously, it's still not done, but it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt, but I love it, and I can't wait to finish it. So.
And what is it? Just because you practice, or?
Well, I decided to get it for my birthday, and I decided to get something that means something to me. Something meaningful, something that represents who I am. And I was like, "Ooh, let me get this." And then I put the image together, and I still have more to go. So the image, I can't wait.
It hurts. I saw it.
Yeah, no, because I was thinking about it, but it really didn't hurt at all. Like, I was like wondering when it was gonna be over, because I got
at one point, do you kind of get like after an hour in, you kind of like get numb to it, and you go into a Zen state where you're just like, go ahead, just stab me.
Right? Yeah, you do. Like, especially you don't have that large of a tattoo, so
when I get there, I'm gonna let you know. But there's a reason there's not a large tattoo.
I was gonna say this is my biggest piece. I'm like, no, I lied. It's like my second biggest piece on me. But I don't know, man. I just wanted something that was like, it felt right at the moment when I got the tattoo. And I was like, this is what I want. It came together so smoothly. I was like, I'm getting this one. And then it happened. And every time I look at it, I'm like so like in love with it, because it's like.
So that was your first tattoo.
This one? Nah, this was not. This was my. I think that this one was my last tattoo out of. I lost count after 30, so I don't know.
You have more than 30 tattoos?
Not more than 30, less than 40, maybe. I lost track.
That is awesome.
Okay. but yeah, I can't. I lost track. After 10, guys, you lose track of your tattoos. People that have more than 10, they know that. They're like, I don't know, my 500, qué sé yo, I don't know, you know? But,
and what was your first one?
Well, my very, 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 very first one, I was in high school, I think, and it was my grandma's name, Christina, and it's huge. It's like here on my side of my rib cage, and it's just very big name because that's it. Which is it's my name too. So without the H, guys, Cristina, you know,
without the H, yeah. My first one was the little one, my little treble clef, because I am a singer and music was my first love and passion. And my best friend and I went to go get tattoos. This place had a deal, a special, any tattoo from a book for $25.
Oh, okay.
And guys, for reference, don't do that. Like, it's probably not the best idea. Like, you're probably gonna get like some like crooked ass smiley face somewhere. But it worked out really nice. These guys were on point. They're right next to Bird Bowl. I cannot remember the name of the place for the life of me. But my tattoo artist's name was Kato. He was really cool. He had like black gloves and he was like, come on, sit down. And I looked at the page. I automatically knew I wanted something to do with music.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I wanted it to be purple. And I knew it was going to be $25, and that made me happy. And the guy, I chose the image that I wanted from this book, and he was like, that's horrendous. As an artist, like, he couldn't put his name on that as an artist, and I respected that. And my body appreciated that because it's going to be there forever.
Right.
So he freehand drew another design for me. He's like, do you like this? And we'll do purple shading. I was like, yeah, I love it. And in talking, as he's getting the tattoo ready, I mentioned how my name meant star. He put a little purple star right next to the music note. And I fell asleep while he was doing it.
In that spot, I have a tattoo there as well. It's just so...
It's very soothing.
It is. And it's just like, you just want to...
Yo también soy media masoquista, so like...
No, definitely not me.
I'm like, ooh. But yeah, and how about the other one? So this
is a Breaking Benjamin tattoo. It's a bunch of bees together. I do not know what number tattoo this is, but I knew that I wanted to get my favorite band tattooed on me. They saved my life for the past like 16 years, 17 years now, since I was 15. So yeah, it's a long time. Yeah. And I knew that it was about freaking time that I got it, because if Breaking Benjamin, hands down, I don't care. Lifesavers.
Now that I don't know this band, you've introduced me to a new artist. I will listen to it.
My heart. Yeah,
I feel you.
They're a punk band. I mean, whatever people want to consider them. They're all over. I just love that they stay with their same sound, even after taking a hiatus for so long. I could go on and on about the band, but their writing style.
Big episode coming up.
The writing style and everything, and I decided I need to see. So every time I look at it, I'm like, you saved my life. Like, every time I could go and put the song, any song on from all their albums. Well, they only have 5, but still. I go and I'm like, I feel so much better. Like, all the answers or something, if I feel like I'm lost, I just put it on.
The lyrics and the music.
And then I just feel better. And then I feel like, ooh, I know what to do. So, and I know most of you guys have that out there. A band that has done that for you. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my semicolon tattoo is pretty much up for me. I went with therapist Helen, and I got my semicolon. I've been wanting it forever. I had friends who had it, and I was like, I don't want it to seem like I'm getting the semicolon tattoo because other people have it, because it's actually very meaningful to me. It's a reminder that I'm still around, because there were times that I mentally wasn't in a very good space and I didn't know, right? So it's a happy reminder. And I remember the day of, I cried a lot. I cried a lot, but it was like a happy tear, a like momentous occasion. So, and it's actually connected me to a lot of people. I was in a networking group for corporate peoples, right? And someone came up to me. He goes, "Depression and anxiety. How about you?" And I was like, "Oh, well, that's how we're going to do it now. This is the calling card." So
Right.
we were able to connect beyond that, and that was nice. Some of my students have seen the tattoo, asked me about it if they didn't know or if they've seen it before, and they, my younger students, my older students, some of them have the tattoo, and we've been able to connect like that. So that's nice when you're able to like start like conversation over your body art. And we're so happy you're here. Oh, I love you, Danny.
And fun fact, guys, those two tattoos that Vanessa has, I also have my semicolon, and it's right here. Yeah, I got my.
I feel like I'm gonna get my next tattoo. I'm gonna be like, Choobie, do you have it too? I have some very specific ones on my horizon that I really want. So we looked into some fun facts about tattoos. Yeah, if you have tattoos, share with us what tattoos you have, what piercings you have. I used to have piercings up here, and they're all gone.
The people that know me from high school, they know I left with. I have 8, so I only have 8 in total. That's it. Well, excluding my mouth and my tongue and my. But I left high school with all of this. all of it. I was like heavy into piercings. I mean, I still am, but
What do you think is more painful, tattoos or piercings?
Damn. It's good.
It depends on where it's being done, no?
Yeah, because to me, I pierced my ears myself. That was no biggie. Like eyes, needle, screw it,
I am a blank canvas. Still. Carlos has been saying that response for many a year.
Well, okay, even
if the year it changes.
Even if you're black canvas, if you weren't afraid of getting a tattoo, or you just, what would you get?
What would you get? Yeah, I like that.
What would you get if you were like, let me get a tattoo, but not really get a tattoo?
They have now, that they have now all these different websites. They have these amazing temporary tattoos that last quite a bit of time, but that you can take it off and it's not on there forever.
Oh, yeah.
Although, I mean, I kind of love that I'm going to have a little piece of my youth with me till I'm old and gray.
To me, I don't know. I mean, listen, I still draw on myself, even if I have real tattoos. So.
They have markers. Sharpie was not dumb, okay? This is what Sharpie went out and did. And I know this because Vanessa is that consumer that buys useless shit. So, Sharpie, I guess they recognize that people were like drawing on themselves with their marker that are highly poisonous. And people were like drawing on themselves with it. They went out and they made like tattoo Sharpies. So you can draw on yourself in different colors, but you're not putting caca into your body, and it comes off a lot easier than the Sharpie that you had to like acetona.
Oh my God, right?
And take it up. You said, oh my God, right? Because you did it too.
Yeah, all the time. And that's the thing, like I don't know
regular pens.
I
would do it with pen.
I would do it with pen, cualquier cosa that would stay on my skin. And I like it. Like to the Ganesh one, like around it, like whatever left skin I have on this arm, I still draw on it. Like it's just so much fun. We're artists, so it's like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to us.
Maybe I'll try a temporary one. I mean, I'm all for it. Try a temporary one. You can even try it a couple of times, and if you like it enough, you might just end up getting it. The thing is, tattoos are not cheap either.
Oh God, yeah, I was just about to mention
piercings, relative, like I'm such a cheese puff. I got my piercings for my ears at Claire's. That's $20 for both ears.
Does Claire still even exist?
Well, in the current situation of the world.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Never mind. Sorry, guys.
We forget we're in the apocalypse, but like my $25 tattoo, again, proceed with caution. Don't just randomly walk into a tattoo bar and be like, oh, you have $25 tattoos. Great. Maybe they don't clean their needles, and that would be bad.
Oh my God.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But man, this little guy was como $60. This little nugget right here.
Yeah. And you also have to tip your artist. Remember that.
That's right. That's right. That's their artistry. And they're very serious about it too, because the guy who did my semicolon, he got a little creative. I just thought he was gonna do the dot and the thing, but he left some parts open, so it's like as if it's got sheen to it. And he was very precise about where he placed it. Like he knew what he was talking about, and he gave Helen a whole talking down about her tattoo. So I was like, okay, I feel very confident in this man's hands. And that was at Tattoos by Lou, which has been around for ever.
Oh yeah, I think I heard of them before.
Yeah, they're like on US 1 and something.
As many people
those locations. These are tattoo parlors.
If they're still open, some of them have closed because of the pandemic, which kind of sucks.
That's true.
There's a tradition called Friday the 13th tattoos. I don't know if you guys do it.
I just learned about that this year.
Oh my God, what have you been living under a rock? No. Clearly. It's been years. I have one that I started. The woman was like, she was awesome. And it was a mushroom on my ankle, on my right leg, because it's going to be an Alice theme. So I told her to take out the 13 from the mushroom and just, add dots and things like that. It was beautiful. That shit hurt.
I was waiting for that.
That one hurt the most for me because obviously the bone was right there. Well, it was around the ankle area.
Yeah, okay. Oof.
That shit hurt. I was like burning from the inside. Like I felt like fire. But don't worry, guys. Still get the tattoo that you want there.
You're not doing a really great job at selling this.
But it was just for me. Some people have gotten tattoos there, and they're like, no les dolió. It didn't hurt them at all.
I mean, I heard about the whole Friday the 13th get a tattoo thing. My friend Cindy has a bunch of tattoos, awesome tattoos, and has the tradition of on the 13th getting it. I didn't know about it. Mentioned it to my friend Angie, who's like, oh yeah, my cousin Ashley gets one on the 13th every time too. And then I started meeting all these other people who were like, yeah, I get one on the 13th too. I'm like, I don't know anything.
Danny just joined us. He's my tattoo buddy. We go get tattoos on Friday the 13th. We missed a couple, but I still gotten some, The next Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th is in what, November this year? When is it?
No, I don't know. I don't have a calendar. No, I need a calendar. I don't know.
It says on November 13th. It's on November 13th, guys. Don't worry. Okay. See, I was right.
Okay.
And we have to wait. But this is just a tradition, guys. Doesn't mean that we're paying for the cheapest because the tattoo is cheap. For me, it's a tradition because there's certain things I wouldn't get on my normal daily life. Because flash art, like those Friday the 13th tattoos, I love Halloween. But I wouldn't just go there to get like whatever the hell.
Halloween tattoo.
Like this mushroom, I always was able to alternate it for what I wanted it because, it had a theme. But if it's something that I can't change and the lady's like, Friday the 13th tattoo, if I can't change it, then it's going to be
you're not gonna feel too great about it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get it if I am not able to.
I
This
think
one was also one of my Friday the 13th tattoos.
Oh, Moon, I love that.
Yeah.
I think I'll get my Friday the 13th tattoo in November. It's gonna be Squishifer, my kitty. It's a black cat. It doesn't get more superstitious than that.
And it's perfect because it's, but other tattoo shops does the 31st. Friday the 13th, but it's $31 tattoos, not $13 tattoos. So they flip it. Yeah.
Caution, make sure they clean their stuff. So walk out of the hepatitis C, people.
No, but it's regular shops. But not all shops participate in this Friday the 13th tattoo, thing, because they're like, it's losing business for them, or they feel like it's just not their thing. And
I wonder how. I don't know many tattoo artists. I don't have friends that are tattoo artists, but I wonder what in this climate, what that is. Because I know of people who during this time have gotten tattoos. So there has to be a place doing it. I don't trust you, Friday the 13th lovers. Haters. Judgy. I wanted to share some fun facts because we also have history about this, because, American culture in general, we appropriate a lot of things and we don't always take the time to learn the history. Choobie and I are big about learning the history about stuff. And, there's definitely a crap ton of history to tattoos, because they weren't just a now thing. They come back from 2,000 plus years back, and then some probably.
3,000, yes.
3,000, yeah. They found mummies with tattoos.
I know, it's crazy. I hope you guys saw the video we posted on our Instagram.
That was a really good condensed version.
Right, I was just about to say that it's very condensed, straight, just to the point. But it informed me a lot. I learned a lot from just watching that video, even though I already knew like half of it. But if I didn't, I would be like, "Oh, that was so cool," And they think that came out.
They what? Say that?
I was gonna say they think that this just came up like a couple of 100 years ago. It's like, no, tattoo's been going on forever.
It's been out for a hot minute. I think the most interesting thing I learned, interesting for me, because actually before we went live, you were talking about how what your experience in Puerto Rico was. Do you mind sharing that?
Oh yeah, that the island that you're looked down upon if you have tattoos, because you're mostly are, in a gang related, and Lynn, you live in Puerto Rico right now. If you're still watching, I don't know if it still applies to this day, but back then when I was growing up there, it was bad. You couldn't have tattoos because you meant you were in a gang. You were in jail. So it wasn't.
Meanwhile, in late 1800s, it was a sexual thing for women to have tattoos. 1920s, even it was a sexy thing for women to have tattoos, and they would do striptease to show off their tats. Okay, so you have a lot of this photography, and of course you had the side shows which had the tattooed women, and actually now more women are tattooed than men.
Is it? You think so?
That's what it was. That's not Vanessa thinking. So that's one of my fun facts that I'm looking at right now.
I learned something. Wow, women.
I didn't know that, and I would have thought, because the most tattooed women, at least the last thing that I saw in one of the videos that I watched, is a woman that's actually in her 60s. She has 98.7% of her body tattooed. But the most tattooed person is Diamond Richie. Was that his name? That he has 100% of his body tattooed.
So there's no more space.
To toe. All over. Covered in tattoos.
So he can't get no more tattoos.
No le cabe. ¿Dónde se lo va a meter?
That's what I'm afraid of. Not afraid, because it's not enough fear, but I'm sad about that. The one day I would no longer be able to put another tattoo on my body. I'm like, damn. But what do I do now?
Now you get to do other body modification things.
But that's the thing. I don't there's no other that I want to do. So, well, for now, let me keep it open. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I read some pretty interesting things. Like, obviously, we know religiously tattoos have had a very interesting role. I mean, for us, we like a lot of Christian people get the cross, Catholics get the cross, and that's something very important to them. But for a very long time, as a matter of fact, in the Bible, at one point, it talked about there being like you shouldn't mark up your body or whatever, and people left that up to interpretation. So it became like a no-no in a lot of religious, beliefs like Christianity, Judaism. You don't do it. But of course, things happen in history that change that, or there's no real rule, and people just started doing it as a positive representation of their faith, right? Of their dedication to their faith. In the Jewish faith, they didn't. It was frowned upon. But then, of course, the Holocaust changed that.
Oh yeah, with tattooing
the numbers on those that were in the concentration camps. And from not doing tattoos because it means something to your faith, to on top of already being put in this horrific situation, and then on top of that, marking your body, desecrating that you hold so dear religiously. It was like one thing on top of the other. But a lot, from what I've been reading, a lot of people of the Jewish faith have reclaimed it, right? A man who was released from Auschwitz, right, one of the survivors, would walk with short sleeve shirts showing the numbers, because a lot of people to this day do not believe that the Holocaust happened.
That is absurd.
Yeah, but so he did it to prove, like, good, bad, or ugly, our history is our history. What happens after is in our hands to make sure that it only gets better, not worse. And I think we're kind of in a similar situation in this present day, right? So he wanted to make sure that people did not forget what the Holocaust was, what was done to him, what was done to his people. And a lot of generations, right, of survivors of the Holocaust have gotten their family members' numbers tattooed on them, so as a reminder and as a tribute to where they've come from, which I think is quite beautiful, a beautiful way of like
remember them, yeah.
Right? That's very special. Sorry to go dark on y'all, but it's the facts.
It's the truth. Hey, there's some fun tattoo facts. There's some not fun tattoo facts. And guess what? It's all the truth, and it all goes together. So,
I mean, there's the fun things. You tattoo, like, there's certain symbols that meant that you crossed the Atlantic and things like that. The pirates forget that were fun tattoos to have. And then there were other things, obviously, like that. And also prisoners in general sometimes would get tattooed, or when people are in prison, they get specific tattoos to remember experiences while they were imprisoned. Our animals get tattooed when they get neutered.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they get like a.
Well, they do that to dogs. You know, they don't do that to cats. At least I don't think they do. My cat got his ear clipped, but I had a dog, and they put a little tattoo on her, on her belly. Was it on her? On her ear. So tattoos are all over. Man, woman, goat. Quite literally.
Yes, guys, show us your tattoos. Well, can you send pictures through these things? I don't even know.
You can't. You might be able to, actually. If somebody knows how to post it, that would be really cool. If not, you can totally send it to us through our DMs on Instagram or Facebook, and we will, or comment it on our page on Facebook and such, and we will share it. What other first tattoo machine? Oh yeah, this I learned, and I thought it was really interesting because Thomas Edison had his hands in everything, apparently. The first tattoo machine was based on Thomas Edison's stencil machine.
Oh yeah, I read that. Very fun fact.
It's it's crazy looking. Like, I don't want that. I'm so glad that tattoo machines have gotten better.
I know. It's like, okay, thank you for coming. Yeah.
Well, how many medical tools don't we feel that way about?
I don't even want to go back to the old ancient medical tools that I learned about, because I'm like, that one where? Yeah, no, no thanks. Sorry, something happened to.
Oh.
What other fun facts you have?
I have a couple of women. Women are more okay. So women are more likely to have. The poll was that more women have tattoos than men, but also women are more likely to get their tattoos removed as compared to men.
Oh, not covered, just completely removed. Damn.
Completely removed. I mean, I can think of many reasons. I mean, I know that, for example, I have a friend, he's now in the Marines, so I'm sure that his tattoos are constantly covered up. But, you know, for particular jobs, if he didn't have like a button down, like, and didn't matter how hot it was, he had to have everything covered up because he had his whole arm, he had a sleeve. But it presented problems in office settings.
Yeah, I remember growing up that they were unprofessional and you'll never get a job looking like that. And I'm like, it's about the work that they do that should matter more than how they look. Because I've seen people in the most like a tuxedo, most professional way, and they're very unprofessional.
Right.
So
I think it's also like, because I remember a friend of mine, she had, I'm trying to remember what it was, but she had a tattoo somewhere like around her temple. And she had applied for a receptionist job and she didn't get it. And they were very honest with her, right? They told her, we're very impressed by your resume. You're very eloquent. We would love to have you, but you are the face of the company, quite literally. As you're walking in, you're right in the front and you have body art on your face. And that's not something that we necessarily want to be indicative of the front. So they offered her a different type of job, but it's not what she was looking for, right? But you can't entirely get mad because, you know.
No, I mean, obviously, for example, just like you are an artist, you are an actress, you are a model.
I had to strategically place this baby.
Right. And unlike me, I have free will to do whatever the hell I want with my time. So I could get a tattoo literally right here and no one can tell me shit because I don't know, I don't have no one telling me what to get or what not to get or what to cover. And I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, it's like the world is full of people with tattoos. What are you going to do? Hire no one now?
There's
like, it's just getting to the point where if you're going to let the tattoo bother you to the extent of not hiring somebody, and I get it. She shouldn't have applied for that knowing she had the tattoo at the same time.
I mean, right? She shouldn't have if she would have known, but it was a very artistic type of environment.
Right.
For us artists, it's difficult sometimes to understand. We forget that there's a business side to our artistry, right?
Right.
What our problem has been for so many years, and that's why people think, you know, a poor deadbeat artist, it's not a real job. That's why there's all these misconceptions about what it is to be an artist. We perpetuate it también. Like, we don't help ourselves. And part of that is she didn't think, artista, pero she's not in front of a camera or anything like that. So she thought it was that kind of environment she could get away with it. It would be cool. And it didn't work in her favor because the offices are very corporate and more stiff because this is where the people with the dough come and drop it, you know? So most of these projects go through. And so they wanted somebody who reflected that side of it. If they wanted the artist to come in, they invited the artist to come in, right? And that's a different animal. We tend to be like, you bring in the performing monkey, which is very upsetting to me. That's for another episode. But you don't necessarily tend to think of the artist as like, you know.
Yeah.
So I think she thought that it was a much more lax environment than what it was. I don't think she was trying to impose anything on them.
Right.
And I probably would have had the same idea. I'm like, this place, I think they were like literally artists. Like they would prepare, curate shows, do logistics for exhibits and things like that. So she was like, well, I got this. I could be there and with my tattoo and all cool. They weren't having it.
Yeah.
When you have the frou-frous walking in, they get a little nervous when they see a tattoo on someone's face, apparently.
I roll my eyes because you can't look down on other people just because they have tattoos. And I'm not being biased about it, because even before I got tattoos, I was like, ooh, that they look so cool. And like, I didn't think any less of them just because they looked a certain way. And that's the thing. Like, you are going to go based on how they look and then not know that they're a certain way. Like, you know, it's just,
I mean, it's one of those funny lines. You know what I mean? Because I know plenty of businessmen. Like I said, I was in that like that business networking thing, and it was all corporates. And when we would get together outside for like happy hour, they'd roll up their sleeves, and these dudes, even the ladies, you know what I'm saying, would have these tats. And I'm like, buddy, he's like, I work for a law firm. I can't walk around showing that. You know, I work for this tech startup. And I'm like, but then you see them and they're very themselves. So it's like party in the body from the neck is business. So they've made that conscious choice. I guess where the line is like, is it fair to ask that of someone? Should it even be an issue? And I guess if I was the business owner and I have a particular vision for what I want my company to embody, I can understand certain sentiments.
I mean, I understand it to a certain degree. I truly do. But that's why, for example, I wouldn't apply to a job that are snooty people in suits, because it's not my thing.
Right.
It's really not, because it's just not my environment. And and I understand that some people want to give that a try, but yes, you can
happy.
Right. So,
guys, let us know. Have any of you had an issue with getting a job because of a piercing? I also we're focusing a lot on tattoos because I know there's been a lot of stuff, but piercings have also brought up issues for people.
Oh yeah.
For singers in particular, my friend Maui, a phenomenal freaking singer, had her tongue pierced, and at school they gave her a lot of crap about it. And like, why would you do that? It changes your voice, da 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 da. You know, so they would make her wear the flats. So you put it in your piercing, and it just makes it like it covers the hole, I guess.
Yeah.
And she hated it. It was uncomfortable to sing with. I don't know. Have you had experiences like that with your piercings?
Well, for me, yes, my septum. I had to take it out several hundred times, because when I did have a job that was like, you know, like a 9 to 5 like that they were like, you need to be wherever. They told me to take it out. And I'm like, no, it's so small. No one's going to see it. I'm in the back anyway, you know? And then at one point I just decided to leave it on, and that's it. No, that's it. They didn't say shit after that, you know? But my tongue, if you see my tongue piercing, you're too close. I don't know what you're doing in there. You can't.
If you're there, it's because I wanted you there. If you're there because I didn't want you there, why?
It's just, you can't see it when someone's talking that they have a tongue ring. Right. But, you know.
I mean, as an actor, because I can't, like, if I say artist, it's very general, because like you're saying, or a photographer, writers don't have this issue. But if you're a performer in the public eye, if you're a singer, if you're an actor, a model, boy, I had some stories of when I modeled and issues with my one baby shoulder tattoo. But as an actor, they tell you to be a blank canvas. Like Carlos said before, be the blank canvas, because you never know. And I still have a lot of friends who are actors, prominent actors in the community that work constantly, and they have their tattoos and they figure out their ways. They get creative. Either they've strategically placed them or they just don't give a shit. And I tried to strategically place mine, but I've had the experience as a director having to cover one of my actors' tattoos. One of my actresses had a huge tattoo of glasses on her forearm, right? So that takes up a big chunk. And in one of the scenes, they weren't wearing very much clothing. And it was the 1940s, and she would not have this tattoo. So it was like the process of figuring out how we're going to cover that big tattoo, because they're also sweating and dancing. It's a musical. And si se pega, she gets stuck to somebody, the makeup was going to run off. It was a lot. So I can understand why artistically they're like, stray away from it. It's going to give you a headache unless you're properly prepared with like, okay, have this makeup, this makeup, this makeup, that if you're ready for it. And when it came to piercings, they placed the fear, and it's not just schools, right? If you have any coach, if you have any, I don't know, like any kind of guide in your professional career, they put the fear of God in you, that if you get like a tattoo, a piercing, you're going to get scars, right? I would always talk about how I wanted my eyebrow pierced, how I wanted my nose pierced. It's going to leave a scar. It's going to leave a scar. It's going to leave a scar in your nose. Dana, which is an amazing actress, I've always wanted the tattoo of your fingers that makes it look like you're hugging. Oh, I never could because of acting and playing. And Dana has the babiest of the baby faces. She's itty bitty and squeezy, right? And so I could imagine that that they see a 10-year-old walk in with a bunch of tattoos, it would not give the best impression.
But I like the fact that there's alternative modeling now, where you could have all your tattoos and all your piercings, and that is an amazing concept that obviously had to be manifested because of the fact that regular modeling, you're not allowed to do that. And I've been on your shoes too with the whole acting, when I was doing background acting, and a background actor. I only had 2 tattoos at the time, and this one, I have one right here. Oh, you can't see, it's a bunch of words. They had to cover that one. And she's like, the one here, she's like, oh, you're wearing a bathing suit from the 1950s. It's fine, And then my hair was 2 different colors. And she's like, they don't have color back then, so they had to dye my hair brown, one solid color. And it was just a freaking process.
It's a contractual thing to dye your hair when you're a performer.
Yeah.
Like right now, part of my joy of the pandemic is, and there's very, pandemic is not a joy for anybody, but is the fact that I can play with my hair color, because when I'm working, I can't.
Right.
It's you have to ask permission of whoever your next job is, or let them know what your hair color is, and if they want it changed for that role, you want that role, you got to change it.
Right. No, yeah, of course.
It's a little crazy.
Just like for the piercings as well. They like, oh, you have to take these off and everything off. And I was like, yeah, you see why I'm not in it anymore? Yeah, guys, no.
Well, I mean, there was one time that I did get like my ears pierced, and I had just gotten them done. And when you take them out, you risk infection or they close. Dude, I had just spent the money, had just done it. They made me take it out. It was for a shoot. Total, my ears were red, right? So they're like, covering it up. If it's gonna be covered up, couldn't you just cover up the fucking earrings? Right. I forgot the shoot was about 6 hours. I forgot to put the earrings back in entirely. Out of sight, out of mind. Ya al día siguiente esa vaina estaba cerrada. I was like, fuck.
For me as an artist of myself, I care about my personal expression. Like I care about the way I look for me. So yes, I'm gonna get all the tattoos and piercings that I want, and no, I'm not gonna work in those things that are excluding this, because I care more about this than acting in your show. Right. So that's why I decided to quit and to not do any of that shit anymore. I couldn't.
The people who diehard corporate fans that have found their way of expressing themselves with their piercings and their body art, right, and their body modifications, they have found their ways of balance. And there's also places, I think, the collective conscious has grown in the sense that they don't put so much on that, and it really depends where.
No, yeah.
Right? There's a lot of startups that don't really care, versus like you go, for example, to apply for a job at the Four Seasons Hotel. No.
Right. Right, of course. That's logical, but still, I mean,
You know what I mean?
if you're not gonna be in the front desk, it shouldn't matter. That
It
person's gonna be.
shouldn't, but who's the audience, right? Even you and I, when it comes to like, we want to make sure that the topics that we're choosing, that the things that we're talking about, you guys are with us, right? So we look at demographics, we look at what your ages are, who's listening, so we make sure that we're including you. And I feel like that's a lot of what they try to do. They try to uh, make the face of their product, their company, resemble who the main consumer is. And maybe they're afraid that in trying to like edge it up, they're going to lose something. Yeah.
Yeah, because I always heard you don't know who's watching you, or you don't know who's looking at you, or you don't know who you're gonna bump into, and you're representing us. I get that. I totally get it. I do. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I mean, that example you just gave of the hotel thing, I'm like, if they're not the one in the front desk and they're just one person that's
Right.
like,
Right. But no, I'm specifically talking about like that first,
yeah,
even that, like it makes you cringe a little bit to think that someone is being judged or you have to deal with the perception. Like, yeah, it's caca. But it is unfortunately how it's been for so long. Although I have seen it change a lot. I've seen a lot of very interesting characters when I walk into some corporate buildings now. Cool hair, piercing, like more piercings on the ear than you would typically see. So I'm like, okay, they're easing up. They're recognizing that this does not detract from someone doing their job properly.
right, exactly. And that's the bottom line that I was getting at. It's just, it doesn't. As long as you're getting your job completed, especially if you only work over the phone and no one gets to see you 24/7 at all, who cares how you look like? Just do your job. If you work over the phone, like right now, everybody's the ones that are lucky enough to work from home and just work over the phone, and that's it, or an email. Who's looking at you?
Right.
Who's
and culturally is a different animal, right? This is all like work-based, but culturally, like you said, when you went to Puerto Rico, only people who had tattoos are the thugs and the this and that. In Santo Domingo, I don't think I didn't have tattoos at the time, so I didn't hear anything about that. But I had shared, prior to us going live, I shared with Choobie the story of how a person in my life, who shall remain nameless, when I got my first tattoo, and this was a very special thing. I did it with my best friend, who's like my soulmate for life, and we've been best friends for 20 years now. And it was something very special to me. And when I showed up, they were like, "You dirtied your perfect skin." Like I flawed myself in getting this tattoo.
right?
It was really upsetting. I was like, "What? No, you shut up."
Like how, right?
And I've met so many, and it really is a culture unto itself too, right? Like you were talking about the alternative modeling, suicide girls, huge fan of the suicide girls, and their body art is amazing. Right? A lot of burlesque stars. Burlesque has become very big. South Florida has its own burlesque scene. A lot of those burlesque dancers have such amazing tattoos, a lot of there's alternative fit models too. My cousin Bavier is an alternative fitness model, and she tattooed all over.
I love these all alternative things, but the fact that what gets to me is that these things had to manifest because they were being pushed away from the media of regular, of the regular like modeling and photographers, whatever the case is. I mean, I'm glad that they're there.
The fact that it has to be alternative versus just being
right, just being. But hey, I wanted to be a suicide girl in 2011. If you guys remember that, I was a
really? I wanted to be a fan.
And then I got accepted, and I was freaking excited. I told the whole world, and then they told me I had to pose nude, and my dream crashed. So
Ya te llego.
There, that's it. I was like, excuse me? I don't care who does it, but that just doesn't flow with my being. And I was like, not happening. But I was like so excited. I was this close. But it wasn't meant to be. So, but Suicide Girls, keep at it.
They really are badass. So I mean, we have a limited time left, and we still have Choobie's Corner, a book corner.
Oh yeah, Choobie's book corner.
And it's Music Mondays. Right after.
Right after, because you have to tell us. Today's Choobie's book corner. I have 6 books. So number 1 will be A Cultural History of Body Piercing by Bonnie Szumski and Jill Karson. Number 2 will be The History of Tattoos and Body Modification by Nicholas Faulker. I mean, these are self-explanatory titles. That's why I'm not giving a little bit more, except 1 or 2. But cultural, self-explanatory. The history of tattoos and body modification, you know, where they come from, etc. So, and number 3, Spiritual Tattoo, A Cultural History of Tattooing, Piercing, Scarification, Branding, and Implants by John Rush. If you don't know what scarification is when you, I don't want to say when they cut into your skin, because that's like not what happens, but your skin does get, you know, cut into, scarred. So at the end, it's just like when you get a scar, it looks like that. Like when it heals over the process, and implants is like when you get, you know, those piercings that go under your skin, not like body implants, but you know, like those piercings that go under your skin to make it look cool, like that. Number 4 would be A Source Book Tattoo History by Steve Gilbert. And number 5 is The History of Tattooing by Wilfrid Hambly.
These people got weird names, y'all. But you're going to get the book list as a post, so don't worry, you'll be able to find it.
Yes. And then the last one is The World of Tattoo by Maarten van Dinter. So these are the top 6 that I have. These are all found on Amazon. If you don't shop on Amazon, Google has them. I don't know if Google goes straight to Amazon as well. Kindle versions, they're available there. And that's all I have for today. But if you guys have any books that you thought are cool or whatever, send it our way so we could put it in the list. And now,
Music Mondays with Bonnie. Music Mondays. I'm not gonna I'll probably open it and I'll give you an idea of what is in the playlist. So this is one of the most exciting parts for me. As we're creating and getting things ready for Monday's episodes, we find music, we put music to a playlist on our new Spotify. No Filters, No Fears Music has its own profile. So you go on Spotify to listen to No Filters, No Fears, the episodes, and that's through the podcast part. But we actually have our own profile where you can go on, follow us, and all of the playlists are available for open, so you guys can add songs. So add things that are related to that week's topic. This week's topic, the playlist is called Piercings and Tats 8. I'll be doing a post on our Instagram and Facebook about going onto our Spotify. But it's a mix of genres. You're not just gonna get rock. You're not just gonna get indie. You have music in Spanish, in English. You guys got to hear in that little commercial that we released for Piercings and Tats, Los Amigos Invisibles. Which I have converted Choobie. We are now a fan of Los Amigos. I love them. Who else do we have in here? Oh, no. That is the wrong playlist.
If you guys are musicians yourselves and you have music you think will go great with our playlist, please put your music in there too.
To give you an idea, we have Sophie Tucker on there. We have Sade, Third Eye Blind. I even put a little Weird Al Yankovic. He did a parody of one of the songs is called Another Tattoo. So, and some of the songs aren't, Tattoo isn't in the title. It'll mention Tattoo, right? Like St. Christopher by Devil Dolls, which is like rockabilly music. So check it out. You might find a band that you like, listen to a genre that you never knew you could like, and like it.
I am proof that you could like something.
Yeah.
I was like,
I slapped her with that Los Amigos Invisibles, and she's like, wow, I love it.
I've been listening to I even showed it to my brother, and then I went to my I just couldn't.
See?
Right, and that part was the one that got stuck to me, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. You know, it's just so catchy and so fun. It was good to dance, and I was like, this is it.
Well, I mean, I like to think that my taste in music is pretty decent. So, and if I'm wrong, then you guys are welcome to add songs. And you can still add to the previous playlist for last week's episode too. So Let's Talk is still open. All of them are open. So when you find a song you're like, oh, this would be perfect, add it on there, follow it, share it. We love to hear from you guys. Brian was talking about when he remembered your Suicide Girl.
Man, I had a set, I had everything.
Heavy metal reggae, make that a hashtag. Like,
well,
actually, there is
something about
heavy metal, but there's no reggae.
He meant reggaeton. He's been on this for years. He's a heavy metal reggaeton.
He said that last episode too, didn't he?
No.
I feel like you did, Peter.
Heavy metal reggaeton.
What would that even sound like?
Listen to this. Heavy metal goes like this. You know, you're like,
right.
And then reggaeton goes like at the bottom, so you're gonna go looking like an idiot. Like, how is that even gonna possibly? How are you gonna incorporate the dancing? That is my thing. Like,
so I knew he said it last episode too.
Oh,
I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know how those worlds would combine, but stranger things have happened. You know, rock and opera happened, so who knows? Maybe heavy metal. Jordan Sparks, a classic. You know what? I did not put Jordan Sparks, Dana. I will put it just for you.
I love that.
I think the pop singer that I put on there was like maybe Demi Lovato, because I love Demi Lovato. Headbang with your hips. I'm gonna need you when we do our music episode, Peter. I'm gonna need you to have something to back this heavy metal reggaeton up.
You better send a video of you headbanging with your hips.
Have something ready because I don't even know. Tattoo, all the things she said. Oh, Tattoo the band. The girls. Yeah. On the things she said, running through my head.
I mean, even though that particular
come on lady, come on lady, you're my butterfly, because he talks about
sugar, honey. Oh, I love that song.
Sexy, pretty little thing, fierce nipple, pierce, got me sprung with your tongue ring. Hey,
we're going way back. We're going way back. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, see, I think every Monday has its hashtag Monday memories.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it does.
It has its element of memory. Oh, beautiful darlings. Also wanted to remind you, we released a calendar, Choobie.
Oh, yes, we did.
So we're going to be letting you guys know the upcoming like 3 or 4 episodes. So that way you can, set up your calendar. I know we all live by our Google calendars now. So you can remind yourself if there's a particular episode that maybe you wanted to share something with that's coming up. Feel free to share information with us, books. If you are a professional in that particular topic, we want to hear from you. We would love to be able to interview you. So talk to us. We're always looking to be able to engage with you guys. And the calendar was an attempt at that, to get you guys more engaged in what was coming up. So that way we can hear all the many different thoughts and perspectives.
So if you guys didn't see it on our post, you should check it out, but I'll mention it now. On our next 2 episodes is one of them. The episode 9 is consent.
A big one.
That's a big
one for you today. That one will not be a level 1 elephant.
No, the elephant's so big it doesn't fit in the room. Episode 10 is our recap. So you know what that means of all the episodes.
It's our 10th episode.
10. So you already know. Yeah, better be there. It's gonna be a pachanga. It's gonna happen. Party.
It's gonna be a special episode. There'll be a lot of things going on. We'll be releasing all the information about that little by little, so you guys can get hyped up. 2 hour special. You know it, Peter.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
We're going to be doing a recap of all the previous episodes and chatting about new things discovered, changed perspectives if there are any. And so make sure to lend your voices to that. So what do we got to remind them to look where, what, how to find us?
Through Instagram?
Facebook?
No.
Spotify.
iTunes. That's
what your podcast.
See, I keep forgetting those.
We're all of them.
Everywhere.
You know, we try to keep it so accessible. Oh, you're in your car, you can't watch a video? Spotify. You know? Oh, you're at home, you're bored, TV, I can't choose something on Netflix? YouTube.
Right? You could just watch us, talk. We might make you laugh. Oh, you might learn something.
You learn something. We learned something from y'all. So follow us, please share. Here's the dealio. We won't know like how far the conversations can go unless like we start getting people's in here. So please share with your friends, even share with your enemies. Maybe they'll learn to be nicer people. Start sharing about the podcast. Let us know things that you want to hear about. Reading is essential. You say, I can't say it. That's your thing.
Yeah, because reading is essential. And
music is life. So share your music.
Music definitely is life. And remember, get all those tattoos you think you're afraid of getting.
Yes, even if they're temporary, until you decide to get a real one.
Yes. Just give it a try. Maybe you'll be like, oh, this looks cool. But remember, it's permanent. So if you get bored of it.
Forever. Great episode per usual. Love you, Danny. See you guys all on Monday. Stay tuned. Besitos all.
Thank you all for watching. But stay fearless, guys.
Bye, guys. See you next week.